Are we like Elon Musk says? Are we just a simulation?
It is highly probable. If so, I want to figure out how to hack it.
This is a Black Mirror episode right now. What?
I remember in 2017, I was on the board of the X Prize Foundation, and Peter Diamandis, the founder, took us on a tour of all the top virtual reality and AI laboratories in California. They assembled 6 experts in AI and virtual reality. Diamandis asked them, given where you see AI is going, and given the sheer number of planets that we now know exist in the universe and how massive the universe is, do you think we are living in a simulation created by an alien species? And how many of those 6 do you think agreed with the simulation hypothesis?
I think all of them.
5 out of 6.
So the assumption then is that somebody beat us to it, and this is a game.
There's a 1 in billions chance that this is based reality.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
Well, I think it's 1 in billions.
Okay.
And so it is highly probable that we are living in some sort of simulation. If so, I want to figure out how to hack it.
It's like looking at yourself like a computer.
Bingo, you hit the nail right on the head. In my first book, I wrote about a concept called consciousness engineering. And it's the idea that we can approach ourselves the way one programs a computer. Now, my background is electrical engineering and computer science. I graduated from the University of Michigan. I was in Silicon Valley when the dot-com bubble burst, and I lost everything. I lost the funding for my startup. I had no insurance, and I wrecked my car. And in the end, I basically couldn't afford rent. I was sleeping on a couch, trying to figure things out, sending my resume out to anyone who would accept me on Craigslist. I fell into a depression, and I started questioning the meaning of life. So I got on Google and I started searching for hope, and I found, I can't remember what I put in Google. Maybe it was like, help me not make my life suck so bad. But I discovered something called the Silva method. Now, the Silva method, turns out, is a meditation program by a Texas Mexican immigrant by the name of Jose Silva. It became massively popular. Jose Silva sold something like 12 million books. It was one of America's first personal growth protocol. Jose Silva had died in 1999, and this was 2002. But the ideas gripped me. I took a seminar on the Silva method, and it transformed my life. So I go back to San Francisco with my sales job, and in 1 week, I double my sales. 1 month later, I double it again. 1 month later, I double it again. In 4 months, I'm promoted 3 times. They make me vice president of sales. And at 26 years old, I'm sent to New York to lead the company's New York office. And that is how my passion for the human mind, because I learned none of that in school.
Wow. Yeah.
But with Silva, I learned intuition. I learned creative visualization. I learned how to set and pursue goals with this level of mental faculty that almost seemed as if reality would bend in your favor. And that's how I started my work and how I started Mindvalley.
In my opinion, if you can't accept that you can work with neuroplasticity and reprogram yourself, then telling yourself you're enough or setting goals, it doesn't matter. You have to really get into the belief process, and you have to start understanding the power of the mind.
Yes, there is enough evidence that shows that our brains are able to source information from outside physical matter. And the book is called Executive ESP, suggests that we can actually tap into something to make better decisions to move us forward, but we can also do the opposite. We can second guess ourselves and make bad decisions, and it reflects in how we are performing at work.
Which is what happened to you after you did that meditation class, is that you started tapping into your natural intuition.
Right. I would know which lawyer to call that would have a higher probability of me closing the lawyer. Now, here's how it worked. Today, there's a huge amount of research in altered states of consciousness. We know there's the alpha state, there's the theta state, there's the delta state. Silva does a programming technique to teach you how to instantly slow down your brain waves and go into what is called an alpha state of consciousness. Now, you can train yourself to do that. Now, in the Silva method, he uses hypnotic programming and meditation to induce it in you so that whenever you join your three fingers together like this, instantly you slow down your brain waves. Now, it doesn't work for you, but it works for me. If I was hooked up to an EEG machine, an electroencephalograph, if I did this, my brainwave states would slow down. It's a trigger. It's like when a hypnotist says, when I snap my fingers, you will quack like a duck, right? It's a trigger, but it stays with you. Now, when you go into the alpha level of mind, you're able to tap into intuition. Intuition is magnified. Now, back then, the way we sold to lawyers in Texas is we would go to the San Francisco Public Library, check out the yellow pages. I'd be assigned a territory like San Antonio, and I'd have to call every lawyer from A to Z, put an X if he didn't say, if he said no, put an F if he told me to fuck off, whatever. Now, what I learned is that I could join my fingers together like this, go into this meditative stance, not even look at the yellow pages, just run my finger down and feel an impulse. And at a certain point, I'd feel this impulse. It felt like a burst of joy or something like an aha. And I would open my eyes, see where my finger was, and call that lawyer. And overnight, I doubled my sales using that technique. And my frustration is, why aren't most people talking about intuition?